Thursday, that means another interview in the series of Women and Empowerment. For the ones who are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Selina from Subtle Balance. I'm a life coach, and my mission is to help you become the best version of yourself by gaining inner love and breaking free from toxic relationships. If you want to know more, do check my page. If you want to ask me questions, send me a direct message. I will gladly help you. I started this series, Women and Empowerment, because I think it is so important to create more awareness about this amazing topic. And I also want to use Instagram as social media platform to talk with women from all over the world about this amazing topic. Today, I am going live with Cristina Bold. She's a wealth mindset mentor, and she helps women grow their business and create an impact. I am so happy to go live with this amazing woman. So I'm going to bring her online and let her talk about herself and introduce herself. So fingers crossed for the connection. Hi.
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 We are here.
Yes, we are here. I'm going to adjust a little bit as well. How are you?
I am fantastic. I was looking forward to our chat today. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you very much for making time. And sorry for the miscommunication. Time zone. I felt so clumsy this afternoon. So yeah, no problem.
We are here.
Yeah, exactly. So I gave a quick introduction, who you are in a nutshell, but I would say take it away. Who are you? What are you doing?
I am, as you well said, a wealth money mindset mentor. And I work especially with the shakers, the uplifters, the movers, the women who feel this solid purpose that is just bubbling up in them and they cannot not do the soul work. And these women also know that they can have it all. And that's exactly the part that I am helping them with, to become all, have all, experience all the way they see it inside their heart.
Oh,
and
wow.
They don't know how to get.
Wow, that's amazing. It's also kind of spiritual, if do I understand it correctly?
Yes. My work is for the woman who understands that everything is based on energetics, that everything is energy, and wants to know how to work more with the energy. We are doing a lot of practical part, but in my book and in my experience, the practical is just a tool. The real driver of our reality, of our experiences, comes from the energy that we are putting into the practical.
Yeah.
And how we are choosing the practical to play with in a way that feels aligned, that feels soul driven, and not just a recipe that, cookie cutter that I'm taking from somewhere and then I wonder why it's not working for me.
Yeah, no, true. You have to make it your own as well, and feel gut feeling wise your inner compass. How am I going to deal with it? How am I going to approach things? So yeah, true. So how did you become a wealth mindset mentor, and then also the spiritual part? Because it's a journey for us all. I'm life coach as well. If I look at my journey, you don't wake up one day and think like, this is it and I'm going to do this right now. How was it for you? What's your experience?
Yeah, I think that you are so right. It's always an experience of becoming and of discovering the path as you are taking the steps. In my case, the journey started several years ago when I quit quite a successful corporate career. I was a corporate executive in banks. I had been so for quite many years, and then I fell in love with this guy that was living in the other side of Europe, and we looked at our income, and his income was higher than mine. So we decided to move where his income was coming from, and that's how I landed here in Portugal.
Okay.
Now, I landed here in Portugal during the crisis of 2009, 2010, and I was professionally, I found no place here in a provincial city. We are based in Porto. in the middle of a crisis, country in crisis. So I had to reinvent myself. I first had to go through a deep identity crisis because I was, peeled off of everything that I was identifying myself with. And then I had to reinvent, like to see what are the pieces that I would be bringing together so that I can find a path for me. And at that point, I was very much into spirituality and healing. I was going myself through a healing journey, right? Just that the corporate side of me couldn't really bring it herself into, now I'm a healer. It was like, what? So
That's too much.
yeah, it was too much of a shift for my mind to be wrapping around it and to accept it, for my ego, right? The shadow, the smaller parts of me. So then I decided, okay, I will be a coach because it was sounding better, more acceptable. So I did the work of getting myself certified, educated, and I started working as a coach. But then the money was not really showing up. I thought, how many of us think that we just put a website out there and we show up online and then people will be pouring, and it was not the case, right? It's like, okay, and now what? And then started a journey of discovering how this is actually working. And I lost a lot of time into the doing, like fixing, funneling, doing the ads, working with the coaches that were betting on their webinar recipes. I did all that for 1 full year, and at the end of the year I had almost nothing to show for, and all my savings were gone. So then I realized there is something that I'm missing here. And from my own quest of discovering, okay, actually, how do we step into an abundance consciousness, is that I found my passion and obsession for this side of the story of the becoming. So it was more out of my own work that I led myself through that this came. Because as I was leading myself through the mindset work, energy work, then things were starting to shift for me. And then exactly the same things were the parts of the work that I was guiding my clients through. And that was it.
Wow. Can you give us an example of what was, when we speak about the spiritual and the energy? I also believe that everything is energy, and the things we put out there, we get it back. I do believe that. But what are things that made the shift for you? Because you said I'm coming from corporate culture, a little bit more rational. That's the rational world. It's also more a men's world. I also came from corporate culture, also the banking and financial world. So it's kind of hard sometimes. But to make that shift from going from in your mind more to your body, your heart and soul, what was a game changer for you, or what are kind of examples that you can give in that?
So first of all, there were two main shifts. The first one was shifting my relationship with money, which was radical, because the kind of stories that we have around money and we are bringing in our energetic relationship with money are mind-blowing when we start really looking into them. We don't question them because they are so natural, they come so normal that we don't even see them as not being something that is working well for us. But then when we start detaching and start shedding light on our blind spots, we realize, oh my God, I've been believing so much crap around money and what money is and how money can flow in, and who I am in relationship with money and what is possible when it comes to my money, how easily I can receive it, how much money I can hold, and so on and so forth. So there are all these shifts that come from healing the past wounds with money, personal wounds and paradigms that came from our family and were passed down, and we don't even understand that we are thinking and actually reacting in the same way as our mom or our dad. We are judging them, say, no, that is not a conscious way of showing up in relationship with money. But then if we are really, really paying attention, we are just repeating some pattern. So the more we are shifting that, the more our relationship with money changes, and then radical shifts start showing up in our physical reality, also in our results. That was one big shift, and definitely I would talk about that for days, because that's my obsession, it is my work. But I just mention it because it's really, really important. And the other thing that had to shift for me was, because you mentioned corporate work is a very masculine energy, right? It's an energy of doing, it's an energy of fixing, it's an energy of solution focus. Well, that kind of energy doesn't really give room to receiving, to flow, to intuition, to creativity, to all these sides that are coming with a feminine, trusting, right? Allowing it. This comes with a feminine energy. So for me, another big shift coming from that corporate background that you mentioned was to actually be able to start balancing between the two energies, because there is a time for doing, and then there is a time for leaning back and trusting and working with the energetics of it and allowing it and receiving it and opening yourself up and giving yourself permission to have it and to receive it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I truly recognize that when I started like the coaching also when I was my last year in corporate culture, and it brought me more in balance, because at work I could be rational, I could be more the masculine energy, the action taking, solution minded, but at home when I coached, it was more my feminine side, and I could go more inward, and that brought me in balance. But then when I closed deals, I didn't feel that kind of reward like I would coach, and then I like made a shift for myself, like what am I doing? Because if the coaching is something that will bring more reward, then I'm doing something wrong in my life, and I make a decision. I see a lot of people tuning in and out, so welcome for everyone who's tuning in. Thank you for making time. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and then we will talk about it. I also understand it right that you focus the majority of the time on women. Is that right or not?
I personally prefer to work with women because I understand this energy the best. So in my private coaching and mastermind coaching, so in my high level programs, which are high touch, are in very high connection with me and my time and my energy, I prefer to work with women because I feel that that's that's the place where I can bring the most value. My programs, though, are being meaning the courses are being bought by men. Probably not equally, men, women, but definitely there are more and more men that are buying these courses. It's it's a preference, and basically it's an intuition of regarding where we feel that we can serve best.
Yeah, I understand. And is there anything that is coming up that you say, like, I have a program coming up next week, or anything, or in a month, or things that you say, like, hey, this is something I want to share now with everyone who's tuning in?
Actually, there are two things. One is related to the mastermind that is right now open for enrollment and is receiving applications until Saturday. This is for who knows that they are ready for this really deep immersion. There was, though, something that I would like to give your audience, and I can give you the link at the end if you want to place it somewhere. It's free, and it was life-changing. It was a 5-day challenge to start your best year yet. It was a reset energy kind of program where people had amazing shifts, and they were really, really raving about the challenge when it happened. So even if we are already leaving January behind, I still believe that it's a good time for getting really, really anchored in our goals, in the energy of what we are intentionally creating this year. And all this challenge is priceless, is really amazing, and really deep work, even if it's free. It will probably be turned into a paid course. but for now, everyone who feels called can access it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you very much for the offer. And I will gladly put the link on under the IGTV when I post it. So, yeah. When we speak more about women and empowerment, because when I look at your page, I've been following you for quite a while. I understand that the empowerment part is also very important for you. Why is it important for you to empower other people?
Here's how I see it. Because it's an interesting question, actually. Nobody asked me that question. And here's how I see things. I believe that I'm doing the work that I'm doing first and foremost for me. Meaning I cannot not do it. I cannot not lead myself through the processes that I'm sharing there. It's stronger than me. I'm obsessed with it. And then as I am feeling myself growing and I'm seeing the results in my life and in my business, then I see also how these results and how this energy that gets shifted and elevated constantly is touching my client's life and their client's life. And then it's a rippling effect out there in the world. So I believe that we should be doing this work when we are feeling called for ourselves, first and foremost. And then the impact that that transformation has on our community, on our clients, on our tribe is something that will be beyond what we can ever plan. And that for me is actually the empowerment. Like I'm not doing things for other people. I'm doing things for myself, and by leading with my example, people get inspired and understand that that thing is possible for me too.
Yeah, exactly. I love that answer, and I recognize myself in it. I'm not doing it for other people, but it's also the process of your own becoming and the satisfaction that you gain out of it. It's for me, okay, I'm a coach as well. It's more self-love, gaining and breaking free from toxic relationships. But for me, it's also a passion. I'm busy with it like 24/7. It's something I cannot stop, like you're saying. It's stronger than myself. So I recognize that part as well. And it's, if you inspire one person, if you can help one person gain something out of it, then you won. Or that's my feeling, at least. So I recognize that part very, very good. So yeah. Yeah, we have a time schedule. I think we have like about 10 minutes left.
10 minutes, yeah, because I have a call at in 10 minutes from now.
Before we do that, I want to ask the audience, if you have any questions, do leave them now. I will share the link afterwards as well. I'm going to take a snap of us together now during the live.
So I will leave the tea.
That's okay. Or if somebody else want to do it, then it's also possible. That's maybe better. Let's see. All right. So yeah, women and empowerment, the program more about spirituality. So I assume the majority of the people that you're working with are also women from all over the world, or is it, how do I see it, as coaches? Is it also women corporate culture? Is it, how do I see it?
So the great majority of my clients are coaches. Most of them mindset coaches, healers, spiritual teachers. That is the great majority of them. But then I have this most heterogeneous part of clients also, who are artists, who are actors, who some of them had events companies, so the brick and mortar kind of companies, textile companies, so business women, women entrepreneurs. So the principles that I am teaching and I am leading myself with are principles that can be used in any kind of industry, any kind of woman, any kind of entrepreneur is benefiting once they get to live by these principles. Now, obviously, they will be serving more the entrepreneur and online entrepreneurs, because this is my experience, and I have also practical advices and things that are working in my own business and by which I grew my own business. But going bigger, it
Yeah.
can serve any kind of woman entrepreneur.
Oh wow, that's and you wrote a program yourself that's all based on your own experience and everything you went through yourself.
I believe that we should always speak based on our experience, and my experience is direct experiences, and is also there are things that I am learning through my own investments. I don't remember in the last 3 years at least one moment in my business where I was not investing in a high level coach, which means in the last 2 years,
Mhm.
all my coaches basically were 7, 8 figure entrepreneurs. So
Wow.
sometimes we have to learn the things directly by by hitting ourselves against the different situations and learning through them, but that is not necessarily how it has to be all the time. We can just
Mm.
learn already from people who are living the realities or part of the realities that we want to access also. So a lot of the things that I am learning are things that I learned through my own experience, but also learn through
Mhm.
investing consistently in my business, in my understanding, in elevating my understanding, elevating my consciousness.
Yeah, it's a process and you need to focus on it like on a daily basis. Are there things that you say like this is so important for me to do on a daily basis? This is what I do to invest in myself.
Oh, I do lots of things that are a part of my daily routines, but probably the most important one is aligning myself with the person that I am choosing to become. And this is not something that happens overnight or in one moment. It's
Mm.
something that we get to decide constantly throughout the day, and always check like what would the next version of me be doing, what would I be choosing to feel right now, what am I feeling right now. And sometimes it's just even a matter of shifting some emotions, shifting some energetics that are happening and you can access through your body, and then choosing from another energy or pivoting into another energy and then choosing from there. So I believe that this is in the end the work, this is the work.
Yeah, no, I understand that one, and that's also something I've tried to do is exactly align myself with who I want to become, with the vision I have, and ask myself in situations, is this gonna help me grow into the person that I want to be, or into something that I desire to have in the future? And the moment you make that a habit, things start changing as well. I see a comment coming in. Sorry for interrupting, but believe me, people said that foreign people help poor pay. I don't know what you mean by that. Um, Thanks for sharing, but I don't know exactly what you mean
Yeah.
with that one. So no, no, and creating daily routines is very for me that was also a game changer. Like meditating on a daily basis, something I do. It also aligns me to come in balance and with myself and figure out what I want to do and who I am. So no, we're almost heading till the end. I think we have 5 minutes left. I end the live with asking, what would you tell your 13-year-old self with all the knowledge you have today?
That's a beautiful question.
Thank you.
I think that probably I would tell her that she will have such a beautiful life
That's a nice one.
beyond what she thought was possible. And even though there will be moments when she will think that she just blew it all, mess it up,
Uh, yeah,
and
I
she
recognize
will never
both.
recover from those moments. She will always recover. She will always find a way, and ultimately, she will get to a place where she will feel proud of herself and happy
Wow.
with what she's created.
Wow, that's so beautiful. That's really beautiful. It's yeah, I didn't have that answer so far, so thank you. I love
What
you.
would you say to your 13-year-old?
Um, Keep on believing in yourself and don't give up. That is what I would tell myself because it's so easy to get disconnected, certainly at that age, because you're still figuring out a lot of things. You're not a child anymore, but you're not a woman. And keep on believing in yourself, because I think everything we need is inside ourselves. So I don't think we need to seek for things outside ourselves. So keep on believing in yourself. And like you say, everything is energy. What I put out there, I will receive back. So yeah, I truly believe that one. So
Beautiful. So
thank
let's consider that she received it.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That would be awesome. But yeah, we're doing our thing in our own way. We all are doing that. So yeah, I see we're ending already. Thank you, Cristina, for making the time. It was such a pleasure to have this live with you, to chat with you. I think what you're doing is so inspiring. So thank you very much.
Thank you so
I will
much.
take the last minutes away if there's anything you want to share or want to say.
I would just add something that came up while I was listening to your what you were saying now last. What if we could make it a habit of allowing ourselves to be visited by the next level versions of us? Like, as we visited that 13-year-old and told her the message we are bringing from this future to her. And since in the quantum field, we can visit any kind of timeline and any kind of time moment in the time space reality, then what if we would make it a habit out of receiving visits from our next level versions? That would be a good a good
Yeah,
ritual to
yeah,
bring that energy in and to be able to start embodying more and more rapidly and collapsing time
yeah.
for us to become those versions.
I
That
love
that is my suggestion and recommendation that I would love to leave people with.
Oh, I love that. I love that thought. I really truly do. But then it's the practical side. How are we gonna do that all? Are there things that you apply in manifestation and aligning?
Well, it's just a matter of inviting. Like when you are going through your daily practices of alignment, you can literally just go and visit your next level vision, and from there just decide to meet the next level
Mhm.
version of you that is already having that vision, that the reality that you see there as a normal. And then since you can bring her up on an imaginary screen, or just imagine her, or just know that she is there, you can start connecting to her. Like you can literally ask simple questions like, how does she look? What does she radiate around her? What's her vibe? What if I knew what her thoughts are? What would be some of her thoughts? What does she know for sure? What does she expect? How is she showing up? And the more we are asking ourselves these questions, the more our energy starts vibrating there, because it just becomes resonant with that level.
Wow. Yeah, it's so true. Exactly. It's so true. And the moment you start doing that, you will experience the energy in your body changing, but you will see it outside as well. Things start shifting. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. Yeah, we're heading to the end. Thank you very much, Cristina, for making the time.
Thank you
And
so
yeah,
much.
keep
Thank
on
you so much for
inspiring.
helping me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Enjoy the evening over there as well. And yeah, keep on inspiring, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
All right.
having me.
You're so
Take care.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
nice evening. Bye.
You too. Bye. Thank you, everyone who tuned in during the live. It was so inspiring to talk with Cristina. If you missed it, do check it out. I will leave the link as well on the comment section when I post the IGTV. If you have any questions afterwards, send me a direct message. I will gladly reply. Stay tuned for next week and another interview in the series of Women and Empowerment. As always, sending you lots of love, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.